And talking of that, that's a perfect segue into our next guest, and I'm sure you all know who he is. He is the director of the Plan B Education Network. This is a new initiative that he's been put together, and this is a passion of his that he wants to come and share with you and always talk about Bitcoin and any aspect of Bitcoin. I don't think there are many other people out here that are as knowledgeable about Bitcoin as this next guest. So please welcome to the stage, Giacomo Zucco.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everybody. So, you know that sometimes even the hardcore privacy advocate tend to default to the easy tools. So in order to book the flights to come here in the hotel, I was Googling, and I was not on DuckDuckGo, I was Googling about Madeira. So when you do that, the algorithm will track you and will start to suggest you stuff. So a few minutes later, I was on YouTube, another bad habit, don't do it. And when I was on YouTube, the algorithm proposed me a video with the question, is Madeira becoming the next crypto island? If you're new to Bitcoin, you have to understand that Bitcoiners, some of you probably are here since 3 days, so you know that these guys here are not Bitcoiners. I mean, we do our best not to look like this. These are the crypto bros, crypto. And they are wondering if Madeira is going to become the new crypto island. When I've read that the title, just before booking my flights, my reaction was not entirely optimistic. Because I really, really, really hope that Madeira does not become the new crypto island, or the new crypto country, or the new crypto anything. For many old-timers around here, this is very clear. But if you are wondering why this is my reaction to this speech is for you. So, what is a crypto island? What does it even mean? When I started researching and working around Bitcoin in 2013, there was no mention of any crypto island or crypto anything. Crypto was just a very niche technical short for cryptography. So just like cryptography scholars were using the term, and nobody else. So if you go on Google, but don't do it. But trust me, but don't do it. And you look for Google News Crypto Island and you limit the search from 2013, which is when I started, to the end of 2013, you will find exactly nothing. After 1 year, 2014, you start to have some results. So, for example, this is a result about the island of man. They were not calling it crypto island consistently. They were calling it mostly Bitcoin island, sometimes blockchain island. I will make a point during this speech that crypto is just the new form of this horrible, horrible perversion of the Bitcoin idea that was blockchain back then. So typically in 2014, a bad idea was called blockchain something. Now, back then I also funded my company in Milan. I called it Blockchain Lab. So, yeah, everybody's guilty, right? So, this was the island of man. It's a small, beautiful island between Ireland and the UK with strange cats without the tails and moto competitions. And in these islands, there was basically the people from some Bitcoiners, even maximalists, like Max Kaiser, and some not exactly Bitcoin maximalists, like Brock Pierce. But you will know about Brock Pierce later on. People were coming from the crypto valley. What was the crypto valley? Basically, one of the persons that decided to copy Bitcoin, creating a new Bitcoin, only this time printing it for itself and selling it, the famous former Bitcoin journalist Vitalik Buterin, selected the canton of Zug and the city of Zug to incorporate a foundation that was going to purchase from a non-profit, that was going to purchase from a for-profit, some pre-mined token to sell it to the retail investors. So, thank you. This is is from a tax lawyer, probably. This is applause from the tax lawyer. Yeah, it was a great tax engineering scheme. It proved to be smart. I mean, nobody went to jail for the Ponzi scheme in particular, so it proved to be smart. And Zug became the crypto valley. Crypto valley means that every single person interested in a long-term Bitcoin enterprise, crypto enterprise, blockchain enterprise should go there and do innovation there. And as a result, after 10 years, we have a lot of mailboxes of companies in Zug. If you go there, it's a beautiful city in the mountains. There is a lake, like very Swiss, very, very Swiss. And there are mailboxes, many mailboxes. 90% of them are of companies that already failed and went bankrupt, but some of them are still active. So it's a great success. So after the Bitcoin, the crypto island, Bitcoin island, blockchain island, that island of man, to be fair, was a little bit ambiguous and is still around. There is still a good Bitcoin business on man that I like, and I mean it's a beautiful place. But then the Bitcoin bull market started. And you know that when the Bitcoin bull market starts, everything else follow, like, you know, when there is a wave of garbage following a tide, something like that. So there was a Bitcoin bull market, and so crypto and blockchain islands exploded. In 2016 especially, and 2017, we had the explosion of crypto islands and blockchain islands as well. One was Malta. Malta was going to tokenize the companies in the island in crypto, and it was going to become the new crypto paradise. The other one was Cayman. Come here and innovate. So the problem with this wave, and I will argue that this was not a random, occasional, like contextual problem. I will argue that it was a fundamental problem with this kind of narrative. This all collapsed as soon as the price bubble corrected itself. So all the news that you can find after this, if you go on Google, and you set the time after the crash in 2018, you can find a lot of articles like the man who coined blockchain islands for Malta wants nothing to do with that term anymore. Of course, you can also find a lot of people that destroyed life savings in many ICOs, some of which ICOs is basically when somebody print a fake token and they give it to you, you give them money. If you are lucky, you give them euros or dollar. If you are very unlucky, you give them bitcoins, and then the token is worth dead. It goes to the actual price in a couple of years or maybe 3 years, which is zero. So it was a disaster, unmitigated disaster. There are some good people in Malta right now, and they are trying to build back Bitcoin communities. There was a good Bitcoin conference a few years ago, but the hype left a lot of rubble, basically. A lot of dust, a barren scenario, because when you create a lot of hype over nothing or over garbage, what you are left with is basically less than nothing, is disillusionment, is disappointment, and is broken people with broken savings and destroyed life savings. So this was cool for a while until the next Bitcoin bull price cycle started, and again, with the tide of Bitcoin price, the garbage floating on the sea arrives. And so we had the second generation of crypto islands. This time around it was Bahamas. Bahamas was going to become the next crypto paradise, especially thanks to one new key player, a genius. I mean, this guy was autistic, vegan, altruistic, so clearly a genius, and it was going to make everybody rich, literally. And unfortunately, the crypto island, the new crypto islands in Bahamas, there were other actually. There was something in Bahamas, something like this is also, and this is important to mention again, the other guy that you saw in the picture before. There was also the beginning of the hype in Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, all the crypto bros, the one that you've seen in the first slide, they go all together to make Puerto Rico the next crypto island. That means that everybody that has any kind of garbage token to create and to sell to retail will go there. What could go wrong? When the price of Bitcoin adjusted and all the bubbles following Bitcoin crashed again, then we had the failure of the crypto islands. And if you set the time right in the research, you can see the change in narrative. Everything is great, crypto island is going to change. Oh, everything was bad, everything collapsed. People just lost the savings of or their family for nothing. This is a typical cycle. Now you can see there the typical genius eyes of a great genius entrepreneur. But well, the funny thing is that you laugh. I mean, it's funny. In retrospect, it's funny. There is a guy on YouTube. I don't remember the name. I should have put it in the presentation. This guy was interviewing basically all crypto scammers, and it was like, so this man is actually a billionaire and lives like in a simple life because he wants to give billions to everybody else in the world and make everybody rich. And that was Sam Bankman-Fried. And then you find the next video, and it was like Do Kwon of some, like there was a Luna guy, there was he basically got all of them. So this is the same thing. Crypto doesn't mean cryptography anymore. Crypto means basically garbage, undifferentiated garbage. And since I now live in Switzerland, I had to learn how to differentiate garbage. So I'm very much against undifferentiated garbage like crypto. And so is it going to stop? Well, I don't know. I hope so, but I fear not. Because right now the price of Bitcoin is going up again. And what do you get when the price of Bitcoin goes up? The tide and the patch of garbage. And it's coming again. And it's coming again with the narrative of the crypto islands. In particular, now is the turn, I mean, maybe they will skip it. Maybe it's too late for them. I don't know. I hope not. But Vanuatu is basically agreeing to Satoshi Crypto Island. Now, this is very sketchy. You can tell this is sketchy, especially for the name of the second journalist reporting on this, Joe Hall. So whenever Joe Hall is reporting, or something, I'm joking. He's a great guy, presenter in the stage. Probably you have seen it yesterday. So he's great. But I mean, he has to report on stuff. And in this case, he's reporting on Satoshi Island issuing NFT citizenship application. NFT basically means that you have a file, you can copy that file like any other file, but you should pretend that you can't, otherwise other people will get angry at you. So this is NFT. So now you can say, okay, if we cannot ride the narrative of Crypto Island, is there any way to use positively the narrative around Bitcoin to characterize a local initiative, to characterize a movement, a local movement, a place that wants really to do something cool with Bitcoin? Yes, and there is a trick to do that. You cannot even imagine the trick. It's very complex, but try to follow me. Instead of Crypto Island, do Bitcoin Island. Just like that. So it's not necessarily a rule. It's not that if you call Bitcoin something, the stuff that you do, it will become legit. If you call it crypto, most likely it will not be legit. It's almost a rule. Well, you are exempt from this. You are the exception, and I respect that, of course. Everybody else, though, for everybody else is a rule. Now, if you do, okay, satisfied? Speak later. So, if you do crypto with one exception, which is this gentleman here, you basically are going to create a clusterfuck of scams. But if you do a Bitcoin something, you have no guarantee that will be legit. But as a success rate, things I think are going pretty well. I show you a few logos here, cool circular logos. So probably some of you may have heard of, so now I'm not talking about islands anymore necessarily, except for the last one, but I will get to that. So the first one on the left, top left, is the logo of the Bitcoin beach. Probably you heard about the Bitcoin beach, El Zonte, because that was the local community, the bottom-up community, that created the inspiration for President Bukele to create the Bitcoin country in El Salvador. So from a local bottom-up initiative in El Zonte, the inspiration came to do the Bitcoin law at a global national scale in El Salvador. It's a cool group of people. Some of them are here around, and they started to, very early actually, they started to teach young kids how to speak English, how to do some basic computer science, how to do basic saving and financial education, basically, how to save, because it's something that you have to learn how to save. And of course, they also taught them Bitcoin. And some of those people understood since 2018, 2019, and now the community is very, very cool. So much that he basically spanned the global national initiative, but also other local communities. Right now, if you want to see a cool bottom-up Bitcoin community, you go to Berlin, but not in Germany. You go to Berlin in El Salvador, where there is a very, very badass bottom-up community with a huge circular economy, everybody accepting Bitcoin, everybody paying Bitcoin, very, very cool. The second one is, the second logo, in top in the middle, is actually more ancient than the Bitcoin Beach. It's not as famous. It was in Italy. It started around 2018, and it's called the Bitcoin Valley, not the Crypto Valley, the Bitcoin Valley. The difference is that it's not very hyped, it's not on the news. You can find Bitcoin Valley of Rovereto in Italy. You can find some articles about that. People buying like from an Apple store with Bitcoin. People buying from like gas and restaurants, paying the waiters in Bitcoin, and the waiters using Bitcoin in the grocery store. But no, not much hype. But if you go there, people were trained correctly, they were educated correctly, not to expect something explosive, something crazy, becoming all billionaires, but to expect something with challenges. Like people in the Bitcoin Valley in 2016 were already being educated about the problem of scalability of Bitcoin and the necessity to move to the Lightning Network. So they knew that already. And so unlike other communities, they were not taken by surprise. The third logo is the Bitcoin Lake in Guatemala, so very close to El Salvador. Then there is the Bitcoin Jungle in Costa Rica. The Bitcoin Jungle is very proactive here. Go, guys. Then there is the Bitcoin Ekazi in Africa. There was no space for everybody, so these are just representative, but there are many, many, many others. And this is actually the Bitcoin Islands in the Philippines, or Bitcoin Islands, because it's more than one. So if Madeira wanted to be the Bitcoin Island, too late. Philippine guys already took it, but you can still be Bitcoin Atlantis. So that's already cool. I mean, at least you have the lost continent. Well, maybe also they have Mu or something, but doesn't matter. So if you do Bitcoin, and you're not a scammer, your project may probably survive long term. This is not just about local places. This is also about countries. On the top, you can see Bukele with the Bitcoin logo in this graphic. No, Bukele right now got reelected with a great popular support. To be fair, not just because of Bitcoin, mostly because of many security issues in the country, many other things. But Bitcoin was a winning bet for Bukele. The interesting thing is that if you read the narrative in newspaper around El Salvador, it's exactly the opposite of the crypto places. In the crypto places, you have initially the hype. So this is going to be incredible. Everybody's coming here to be hype in the mainstream media. And then you have basically the collapse and the disillusionments and the barren landscape. With El Salvador, you had all the mainstream media basically shitting on El Salvador for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years straight. But the country is on the brink of bankruptcy because of Bitcoin. The crime is going up because of Bitcoin. In fact, the country finances are great, not just because of Bitcoin, but also, that's a huge part. The guys bought a lot of Bitcoin with a very, very good average price compared to today. I mean, may not seem so much to have an average accumulation price of, let's say, 40K or something lower than that, and being at 62K. But if you compare it with any other asset class of any other treasury of any other government, that's not bad. And they have an incoming steady influx of Bitcoin with selling citizenships for Bitcoin or other kind of services for Bitcoin, and they are hodling. They are not selling. Now, you compare these with other countries. After El Salvador, the news was the Central African Republic was going to do the same. And everybody was thinking, yeah, they can do it. Go Central African Republic, you can do it, until they issued a token, the Zucco coin. Now, can you tell me how is going the great crypto initiative in the Central African Republic? I thought so. Yeah, absolutely nothing. Or in the case of somebody buying a Zucco coin, less than nothing. So the point is, you understood it, Bitcoin, not crypto. But the ones of you that are new may wonder that crypto is just an umbrella term, and Bitcoin is a part of that. Like you can see this graph here on the right. Like crypto is the thing, and Bitcoin is that crazy subset of people that are into crypto, but they also like to, like, I don't know, eat meat or be evil with other people. So like a strange subcult inside crypto. Actually, my point will be that this graph is more accurate. This is not even the final form of the graph, so wait for that. But this is already more accurate for two reasons. One reason is that this may surprise you. You may think this is totally counterintuitive, but crypto is smaller than Bitcoin. If you fixate on the sector Twitter, like crypto Twitter or crypto outlet, you will have a overrepresentation of crypto. Why? Because they have to sell. If you have a newspaper and you're following Bitcoin, and every day you say, okay, Bitcoin is going up, okay, every 10 minutes there is a block, okay, there is cool stuff happening, maybe we'll change consensus a little bit every 5 years to do something technically cool. This is not a great sales pitch for a newspaper. If you have a fund, a managed fund, and then your clients are asking you, what are you doing with Bitcoin? We are buying for you and holding it there, so you get rich. You can imagine that the client may start to be suspicious, like, probably I can do it on my own. So what can you sell if you represent the reality of Bitcoin? Not much. There is not much space for the middleman. There is a lot of space for cool entrepreneurs to do Bitcoin, hardware wallet, software wallet, exchanges, services, or any kind of consultancy, education. There is space for business, but it's easier to go crypto. So that means that crypto is overrepresented inside the crypto outlets. If you open a crypto shitcoin magazine, like before I say that you do Bitcoin something, that's probably not a scam. But that's not always true. Like, if you open Bitcoin magazine, you probably find a lot of shitcoins. But in that case, thank you. So what can you find that? You can find an overrepresentation of crypto. If you go on Google, don't do it, Google Trend, you can see that the crypto term for normies, for everybody outside, never surpassed the research trend for Bitcoin. The red stuff is blockchain. It's even more sad. Blockchain was huge in 2014, 2015, and now it's basically dying. Crypto is still trying to survive, but crypto had two relative peaks compared to Bitcoin. The biggest one was not the last. It was the one in 2017. To be fair, it was also the peak of search interest in Bitcoin itself. So. So, again, yes. So maybe what I said before about that being exception was not accurate, but I still don't know. We'll verify later. So, crypto is smaller. Bitcoin is small. If you look for the search trends of normal people, Bitcoin is tiny. Crypto is even tinier. It's just that inside the specific sector, outlets, and funds, it's overrepresented. But it's not just tinier, because you could take these and you could put it inside. But this is also different because this stuff, like crypto, is outside of Bitcoin. And I will argue that there is a final form of this graphical representation, which is even better than this, which is this. Kudos to, I should put the source, but I usually am lazy. So whoever you are, this is a very good job. So perception, you have crypto, and then you have a small Bitcoin subculture inside. And then you have fiat. Of course, we are all in it together, right? We are all against fiat money. We are all in it together. We are a big family. Bitcoin is just the crazy uncle in the family, but everybody is here in the same family, and our enemy is fiat. While I think that what this graphical representation really nails down is that there is Bitcoin. Well, it's still not perfect for two reasons. One, this is Bitcoin in the future. It's not that big compared to fiat yet. So Bitcoin is smaller than this, to be fair. Way, way smaller. But there is Bitcoin, then there is fiat, and then there is crypto as a cultural phenomenon which is internal to the fiat culture. And I will try to tell you why. Thank you. But don't trust verify. I will try to argue why that's true. In particular, I will make this smaller, so whoever you are, artist, please, next time. Bitcoin is smaller, but it will grow eventually. And crypto is here, on the opposite side. And you may say, oh, wait, but this is too much. Like, okay, you may try to sell me the idea that crypto is part of fiat. But there are so many similarities with Bitcoin. So it cannot be the total opposite. It should be something similar, right? We all use the same hardware wallet, especially the shitcoins ones. We all use the same exchange, especially the shitcoin ones. So there must be some kind of overlap, some kind of similarity. Well, my point would be the similarity are because the fact that crypto is actually fiat's immune reaction to Bitcoin. And when you have an immune reaction, when there is a body which is attacked by a virus, in this case, usually when we do this discussion, the virus is the bad guy, and we are the good guy defending with the immune. So now let's please flip it. So Bitcoin is the good guy, the virus should win, and the body is the body of fiat, so it's better if it gets sick and die soon. So when you have the attacker, which is Bitcoin, the attacker is this guy here, with some shapes, with some markers. Then the body has to recreate the same shape in order to basically attach itself to the attacker. So you can find the same molecular shapes in the antigen and in the antibody fighting the antigen. It's very natural. That's something that is born as a reaction to you, as an opposite reaction, has a similar or complementary or specular symmetric shape. And this is the case for Bitcoin. For example, Bitcoin is promoting low time preference, right? Probably you have heard that term discussed in this stage in the last 2 days. Low time preference is nothing like, the grasshopper and the ant. The ant has low time preference. It means that the ant loves the future self more than the present self. So she's able to work during the summer and store wealth for the future and be prevident and be concerned about the future. The grasshopper is just singing and dancing, but then the winter comes, and then, too bad, sorry for your loss. So the time preference idea promoted in Bitcoin is don't try to get rich quick. Try instead to not get poor slowly with fiat. So it's another kind of key. It's not about easy money grabs, hype, short-term satisfaction. It's about building slowly organic stuff. Compare Bitcoin birth with any kind of crypto ICO or token sale or whatever. Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto first works on the code and finishes the code, and the code is done. And then, when the code is done, then he announces the project, only then. And then he works for 2 years, and the project goes from literally 20, 30 people to full adoption and nation scale over the course of little more than 15 years. So 15 years to go from nobody to like word mouth by mouth, mind by mind, keyboard by keyboard, gradual organic expansion, no marketing strategy, no marketing department. Satoshi didn't buy any marketing department. Satoshi actually tried to stop people or to persuade people not to do marketing actions. Somebody, for example, told Satoshi, we should hope that WikiLeaks will accept Bitcoin now, so we will get more famous. And Satoshi said, no, that's too soon. We are too small. Let's hope that WikiLeaks does not accept Bitcoin, because that will bring marketing, and we don't want it. We want to grow organically. Now, the crypto mentality is, well, I will already spoil the slide, so let's go the other direction. Crypto mentality is high-time preference. So even if something can be broken in the future, I want to do everything now. I need to, for example, I need to issue the token premised by myself. I need to use this token to sell it right now to the retail investors. I have to use the revenue to hire a marketing department. So, for example, 80% of the token is premined, and of the token sale, 80% will go to marketing. This is Ethereum, for example. Those are correct numbers. It's crazy, right? So the marketing department is made by people with their faces on the website. You need celebrities. So, well, let's go step by step. In Bitcoin, you have high integrity and low marketing. So it's normal in any kind of commercial sector to have some kind of marketing exaggeration. And we don't get so triggered by that anymore. We assume that's the case. So you can see in the supermarket, there's a brand of pasta, and like pasta, I don't know, Alfredo, which is a name that no Italian will give to any pasta, but anyway, an American would. So pasta Alfredo, the tastiest pasta ever. Now, you don't find pasta maximalist entering the shop and say, no, this is not actually, nobody cares. We know that the claims are fake. We know that there is an exaggeration. In Bitcoin, if a friend, like if a very good friend of mine will tweet, this is the safest hardware wallet, and we are friends, and maybe we work on that together, I will immediately shit on him. Like, you can see that happening again and again among Bitcoin maximalists. Oh, safest hardware wallet. No, you cannot say safest. Or somebody maybe doing some kind of marketing. This is trustless. Not really. This is maybe trust minimized. So in Bitcoin, the tendency of normal markets to exaggerate the claims is flipped around into total skepticism and critical thinking. People are very annoying in Bitcoin. Now, is it the same with crypto? No, it's literally the other way around. If you have the pasta Alfredo, at least when you open it, there is some pasta or something that resembles it. If you open the crypto projects, 99% of the time there is literally nothing. There is just the claim, just the announcement, the partnership, the face on the website. So you can see that it's not a similar culture. It's a specular culture, from over-criticism to gullibility and total trust in every crazy science fiction claim. The blockchain to clean the ocean, the blockchain to travel to the future or whatever, quantum computing, 3D printing drone, sending you NFT inside your artificial intelligence powered. I'm out of hype, sorry. Thank you. When Bitcoin community values stability, so we sit here and we say, do we choose this address? Yeah, maybe not, because people in 2510 may have a problem with this address when the last volcano dries out. And so we do that kind of discussion all the time. Crypto is the total opposite. It's not stability, it's novelty. Everything must be new, not good. If something works, you don't have to follow it. You just have to outcompete it with something new. So if you look for the criteria to select the news in a crypto outlet, the criteria is never something good or bad or credible or incredible or well argumented. It's always something new. They are looking for something new. Bitcoin is looking for something stable, something as stable as gold, as stable as the internet protocol. The internet protocol that people are may be using right now to watch a live stream, the base layer of that, TCP/IP version 4, was finalized in 1984 and never changed. Because you need stability on the base layer in order to build stuff on top of that. If your foundation keeps changing, you cannot build on top of the foundation. So we value stability. Crypto bros only value novelty. And you can tell that a lot of Bitcoiners are actually crypto bros exactly from this attitude, which is it's a very, very clear red flag. When we value convergence, like trying to find a common standard, not just in money, where the common standard is money. Because if you have, so the crypto ideology is about every application having their own form of money. So you have your application, you will have your money. You will use your blockchain with your token on top of the blockchain, with a meta token on top. Like when on Ethereum they tried to copy the Lightning Network, they created some copy like Raiden. But now you have to spend your Bitcoin to buy Ether and then to buy the Raiden token to use the protocol. And that's the mentality. So you know what is the name of a situation where everybody has their own form of money? From a freedom of expression point of view, it's beautiful. From economical efficiency point of view, it's not so great. It's called barter. Everybody is selling a service, and everybody will use a different form of money, which is tied to the service. That's barter. That's what money born to get us away from, basically. So we value convergence, also of standards, of best practices. We try to unify, to federate. We try to standardize. And crypto values divergence. We value scarcity. We like Bitcoin because Bitcoin cannot be printed by everybody at will. Crypto bros like crypto because everybody can literally print token every minute whenever they want. Every idea you have, you can print. You can see this is not just not the same. This is the specular opposite of mentality. And last but not least, we value anonymity. Satoshi Nakamoto could have all the glory and the money and the power and the influence and the fame and the girls. Maybe depends on who he is, or her, she is, sorry. So we don't know. He gave up on that because protecting the project was more important. He didn't use a previous fame to shield Bitcoin, so he didn't use a pre-existing reputation. He let Bitcoin thrive on its own, and then he quit, he killed the reputation. Maybe he's still around, maybe he's still active, but not with the same reputation, because that would be dangerous for the project, because it will make him a single point of failure. So Satoshi Nakamoto valued anonymity or pseudonymity. There's people making a lot of fuss about the distinction. I don't really care that much. The point is not reusing your reputation, your influence. Crypto bros, they are based on celebrity. The first thing that you do when you launch a token is not writing the code, is finding the influencer. So that's exactly the other way around. They are based on influencers, which is also the reason they cannot work, because if they work at scale in a permissionless way, somebody will go after the people on the website with their face, which is not the case for Bitcoin, because nobody is the CEO of Bitcoin. Except Michael Saylor, of course. I'm joking. No, not even him. Not even him. So, last few slides. No, there are a lot of slides. Okay. Okay, stay here. I still have some. Is this new? Like, is this stuff, this phenomenon, or some reaction of the previous world new in technology? No, it's not. A very similar episode. Before I told you that the protocol we are using right now to do live stream and everything else, well, now you're sending Telegram messages to each other, how cool the speaker is. So when you do that, use the internet. And the protocol was finalized in 1984. But after the protocol was finalized, and everybody with some reason was using the protocol that was public, open, permissionless, standard, that was basically the point of this protocol was to overcome a situation in which you had proprietary network. The networks were managed by proprietary company. They were not talking with each other. TCP/IP is a network of networks that can actually overcome the previous siloed economy where nobody's talking with each other. So what is the reaction, the immune reaction of the old world to the new thing, which is the internet? Well, it's called the protocol proliferation or the protocol war. So this is a T-shirt by Cisco in 1991. It's the picture has been taken by Alekos Filini, the creator of the hardware wallet portal. Buy it, I guess share. No, I'm joking, I don't. The picture was taken by him. It was on Twitter, but he was banned from Twitter, so now you cannot find it anymore. But anyway, Cisco was flexing how many different incompatible proprietary protocols they were serving. This T-shirt is the opposite of the goal of the internet. The goal of the internet is to bring everybody in the same network of networks. And the goal of this company was to recreate the internet in an incompatible way to be in control of the alternative to the internet. So Apple didn't try to use the internet. First, they tried to recreate the internet. IBM tried to recreate the internet. And Xerox tried to recreate the internet. And Intel tried to recreate the internet. And Microsoft tried to recreate the internet. There's a funny story about that. Bill Gates was publishing a book called The Road Ahead, and the sentence of the book was, the internet is dead, the internet is old. What is very important for the future is the highway of information, the information superhighway. That's important, not the internet. But then, after 6 months, he realized that the internet was important. He gave the tidal wave speech, and Microsoft launched Microsoft Explorer, the Internet Explorer, Microsoft Internet Explorer. So he sold a new edition of the book, and if you find the same page, there is a slight change, and it says, the internet is the information superhighway. So, but you can still find the old page, and you can find it on the internet, which is very ironic. So, thank you. So now, sidestepping global mistakes. First of all, Madeira, Bitcoin adoption in Madeira, I would suggest everybody involved to always try to keep it grounded, not on fads, on what is fashionable right now, but on principles. And these principles are long-term. They are low-term preference. They are not principles about following what's shiny now. They are about what's stable, what can be used as a foundation for the future. So these principles are scarcity, not inflation. We don't like Bitcoin because everybody can print it. We like Bitcoin because nobody can print it. And these principles are basically privacy and not surveillance. Many of the so-called crypto and blockchain projects right now became the very opposite of Bitcoin, also in another way. If you think about CBDCs, like central bank digital currencies, they are the exact opposite of Bitcoin, using a Bitcoin-sounding marketing. CBDC are super fiat. They are hyper fiat. Fiat can be inflated. CBDC can be inflated more, because now you just have to press a button. You don't even have to go through commercial banks. CBDC, fiat can be tracked and censored. CBDC can be tracked and censored more. So CBDCs are another case of immune reaction of the fiat world to Bitcoin. Somebody will do you can still find some paper where they discuss, let's see the crypto blockchain stuff. Bitcoin, CBDC, they are not the same thing. They are not in the same category. They're specular opposite. Bitcoin is one thing, and CBDCs are the immune reaction to that. So the last two principles, builders, not influencers. You don't need, marketing is a way to communicate effectively what you do, fine. Satoshi Nakamoto, when he created Bitcoin, he spent some time after to discuss a logo, because it's cool, because you have to communicate. Communication is important, but it's not the foundation. The foundation is what you are building. And then the communication is just something that goes on top to explain effectively what you're building. So builders, not influencer, valorizing bottom-up and not imposing top-down. This is very hard to do because we are all central planners in our life. That's fine. We central plan our life, our job, our company, sometimes our family. We cannot centrally plan our global community. It's too large for our brain. A community is too large for a single brain. So you have to leave the bottom-up stuff to express itself, and you just have to learn how to integrate it, how to basically navigate it. So finally, Bitcoin, not crypto. Thank you.